Hello students, welcome to Shastra classes. Today we'll start with chapter 2, Theory of Demand and Supply. So we'll start with unit 2 of chapter 2, Theory of Consumer Behavior. That the first topic is Nature of Human Wants. We'll examine some characteristics of human wants. Human wants are unlimited in number and they can never be completely satisfied because they are unlimited in number. If one want goes, another want comes. So that is how wants keep on increasing every time. So they can never be satisfied. They differ in intensity. Some are urgent and some are less intense. Some are less urgent. Every want is satisfiable. Satiable means is capable of being satisfied. Wants are competitive. If you remember in the first chapter, we have discussed that you have four wants to go and party, to go to restaurant, to go to movie. So all these were competing wants. So wants are competitive and wants are complementary also. Complementary means if you want to have tea, you need to have with sugar. You need to have, if you want to have tea with sugar, only then you will get the satisfaction of the want. Okay. So wants are alternative like Pepsi and Coca-Cola. If one want is satisfied, you don't want the other want. Like if you drink Pepsi, you don't want Coca-Cola, right? Wants are subjective and relative means they differ from person to person, and wants vary with time, place, and person. The same point, wants vary with time and place as also along with person. Some wants recur again, some do not occur again and again. Wants may become habits and customs also. Your wants may become your habits. Your wants are also affected by income, taste, fashion, advertisement, and customs. Wants arise from multiple causes such as natural instincts, social obligation, and individuals' economic and social status. So, wants can be classified into three types categories. First one are necessaries. Necessaries. Second one is comfort. Third one is luxury. So necessaries, comfort, and luxuries. Let us examine what are necessaries. They are essential for living, like food, clothing, and shelter. Okay. So necessities are further subdivided into three types. First one, for life or existence. See, for life or existence, you need food, clothing, and shelter. For efficiency. Next type is for efficiency. For efficiency, see, if you have food, if you have any type of food, it doesn't work, right? You should have nutritious food. Okay. Clean water to drink. If you want to have efficiency in life, you need education. It's also a necessity. Also conventional. Conventional because due to custom, religion. Due to social customs or religion, some we need some are necessary. Next one is comforts. So comforts make life comfortable and satisfying. They are less urgent than necessaries. See guys, you need nutritious food, that is okay. But if you want tasty and wholesome food, but if you want a good house, if you want clothes that suit different occasions. If you have good clothes, that is necessary for efficiency, but if you have clothes that suit different occasions, it is comfort. Okay. You need not have clothes for different occasions. If you have good clothes, it is necessary. If you have clothes with for that suit different occasions, is comfort. Also labor saving equipments. What are they? Like washing machine. They make our life more comfortable. Okay. Next thing is luxuries. Luxuries are with superfluous and expensive. They are not essential for living. Okay, not essential for living. Examples are expensive clothing, exclusive motor cars, classy furniture, goods tuned for vanity, etc. So all these are luxuries. So comfort, necessary, and luxuries differ from person to person. So guys, if a poor man buys a car, that will be luxury for him. But if a rich man enters into a car, it will be a comfort for him. If he buys a expensive car, that will be luxury for him. So necessaries, comforts, and luxuries differ from person to person. B, place to place. C, time to time. So the next concept that we have is utility. So what is utility? Utility is the want satisfying power of a commodity. It is the expected satisfaction to a consumer. It is not the satisfaction that he get after when he consumes the product. It is the expected satisfaction, and it is the want satisfying power of a commodity. So even utility is the is differs from person to person, place to place, and time to time. This applies to utility also. Okay. So let's say if you buying a chocolate, तो कितना मतलब the satisfying power of a chocolate is the utility for you. Okay. And one more thing, utility is not same as usefulness. So if you are drinking liquor, so if you are drinking liquor, it will be utility for you because it giving you satisfaction, but it is not useful for your life. It is damaging your life. So utility is not same as usefulness. Usefulness is different and utility is different. So harmful things like liquor, cigarettes, and all that have utility because they can satisfy an individual. They have the satisfying power. Thus, in case of economics, the concept of utility is ethically neutral. So Ethically, economics does not take a standpoint. It is right, it is not wrong, like that. It only says whether it is only concerned about whether a commodity has uh, satisfying power or not. If it has satisfying power, it is utility. Simple. So utility, based on utility, we can so utility hypothesis is something which forms the basis of theory of consumer behavior. Using utility, we can analyze the consumer behavior. So there are two important theories with regarding to utility. First one is marginal utility analysis by Marshall, indifference curve analysis propounded by Hicks and Allen. You should remember these two names: marginal utility analysis propounded by Marshall, indifference curve analysis propounded by Hicks and Allen. Okay guys, we'll continue marginal utility analysis in the next video. Thank you for your time.